Welcome to Frost and Sullivan's Growth Podcast. This series brings together key insights from our research, growth analyses, and thought leadership, highlighting the strategic imperatives shaping industries, technologies, and markets worldwide. In this episode, we focus on the evolving medical imaging industry and the shift toward connected imaging ecosystems, distilling essential perspectives to help teams understand what is changing, why it matters, and how organizations can align strategy with emerging growth priorities. Medical imaging has traditionally been evaluated based on image quality, system performance, and diagnostic capability. What is changing that equation?
Healthcare providers are managing rising diagnostic volumes, increasing chronic disease prevalence, and growing pressure to make faster clinical decisions. As a result, they need imaging solutions to do more than produce high-quality images. They also need to manage growing workloads, reduce operational pressure, and connect imaging data with broader clinical workflows. This is driving a shift away from standalone systems toward integrated imaging ecosystems. Enterprise imaging platforms, cloud infrastructure, and connected workflow tools are helping organizations manage imaging data across multiple locations and care settings. The value of an imaging system is increasingly tied to how well it fits into the wider healthcare environment.
AI and cloud infrastructure are now central to the medical imaging conversation. Where are they having the biggest impact?
AI is moving across the imaging workflow, from image acquisition and reconstruction to triage, interpretation, and reporting. In areas such as emergency and stroke care, AI tools can help prioritize urgent cases and reduce the time between a scan and clinical action. Cloud-native infrastructure is also making it easier for healthcare organizations to access imaging data across locations, support real-time collaboration, and deploy AI tools at scale. Together, these technologies are changing how imaging providers measure value. Image quality still matters, but workflow efficiency, patient throughput, interoperability, and clinical impact are becoming equally important.
So, what does competition look like in this more connected imaging environment?
Medical imaging vendors are increasingly competing on software, interoperability, regulatory readiness, and service capabilities alongside equipment performance and price. The industry is also moving toward longer-term service relationships. Models such as radiology as a service are shifting the focus from one-time equipment transactions toward ongoing contracts that can include system uptime, workflow performance, software updates, and AI capabilities. Partnerships are becoming equally important. Imaging OEMs are working with AI developers, cloud providers, healthcare IT companies, and teleradiology firms to create more integrated solutions. This means interoperability is becoming a key competitive differentiator. Healthcare providers increasingly want technologies that fit into their existing environments rather than adding another disconnected system.
Where are the strongest opportunities emerging across global markets?
Asia-Pacific is becoming an increasingly important growth center, supported by investments in healthcare resilience, AI-enabled triage, and cloud radiology. North America continues to see strong adoption of AI-based imaging analytics and enterprise imaging platforms as providers look for ways to manage growing clinical workloads. In Europe, AI-supported triage and cloud radiology are gaining attention, although hospital budget constraints can affect purchasing decisions. Meanwhile, Latin America, the Middle East, and Africa present significant opportunities for affordable and portable imaging systems, particularly where diagnostic infrastructure remains limited. However, regional growth also comes with challenges. Supply chain disruptions, infrastructure gaps, workforce shortages, and geopolitical uncertainty can affect equipment availability and service continuity.
Which opportunities stand out as particularly important for imaging companies?
Two areas are especially significant. The first is molecular imaging for precision oncology. As theranostics becomes more integrated into cancer care, PET-based imaging is playing a larger role in patient selection, treatment planning, and therapy monitoring. New radiotracers are also expanding the use of PET and PET-CT beyond traditional academic settings. Imaging companies have an opportunity to combine imaging systems with analytics and partnerships across the radiopharmaceutical ecosystem. The second major opportunity is affordable and mobile imaging for emerging markets. Many healthcare providers need systems that can manage high patient volumes while maintaining lower ownership and operating costs. Mobile CT and MRI, portable ultrasound, and community-based imaging models can also extend diagnostic services to rural and underserved populations. Success in these markets will depend not only on equipment design, but also on local manufacturing, service networks, and the ability to support customers over the full life cycle of the system.
Medical imaging is moving toward a more connected and proactive role in healthcare. AI is helping organizations manage growing workloads and prioritize clinical decisions. Cloud infrastructure is connecting imaging teams and data across care settings. Molecular imaging is supporting more targeted approaches to cancer care, while mobile and affordable systems are expanding access to diagnostics. But the next phase of growth will depend on more than introducing new technologies. Healthcare providers will need flexible imaging environments that support interoperability, workforce readiness, and infrastructure resilience without adding complexity to care. For imaging companies, competitive advantage will increasingly come from combining advanced equipment with informatics, workflow capabilities, and scalable service models that deliver measurable clinical and operational value. That's all for this episode of Frost & Sullivan's Growth Podcast. For deeper analysis, research insights, and strategic frameworks shaping future growth, explore our studies and resources at frost.com or reach out to our team at hello@frost.com. We'll be back soon with more perspectives to help you stay clear-headed and growth-ready.